looking at some classic slip joint knives. Welcome to Randy's Rules, where Randy's Rules are always in effect. How's everybody doing today? Good. Glad to hear it. All right, this is one knife review or discussion that I have really been looking forward to, as these are old-fashioned, but still favorites of mine. I like everybody else, pretty much have over the years kind of gravitated towards carrying the smooth action lock blade knives, your Benchmade, Spydercos, Kershaws, those kind of things. But still have the fondness in my heart for the knives that started carrying from the very beginning. I have carried a knife since I was, I'm going to guess 10 years old, but as long as I can remember, and being an old fart like me, that's a long time. But these are some that I have accumulated over the years, by far not all. I have worn out knives, abused knives, lost knives, and these are the survivors. All right, we got Case knives represented here, and then we got Schrade with a couple of Oldtimers and an Uncle Henry. All right, let's start with the Oldtimers. These are the knives I remember my dad carried an Oldtimer in his pocket every day, many times pulling it out, taking care of whatever needed to be cut or fingernail cleaned or a splinter pulled out, a can cut open, whatever you needed done, these knives would do it. Okay, first a little bit about Oldtimer. You'd think they'd been around forever, but actually the Oldtimer brand came about in 1958. Schrade was founded in 1904. So in the 50s, Uncle Henry Bear, the president, wanted a knife that looked like the one his grandpa carried. So, or this is one story about how the Oldtimer name came about. Whether it's true or not is not 100% known. But anyway, he wanted a knife like his grandpa carried, and they called it an Oldtimer. I like that story, so we'll believe that one. But in 2004, Schrade shut down manufacturing after 100 years, and they sold out to Taylor, and they bought the names Oldtimer and Uncle Henry and stuff. So keep the name and the look around. It's hard to tell the difference. The 2004 and older, or the pre-2004 knives, are made in USA. The ones after that are made in China. And I've got both here. This is an Oldtimer. This is the middleman, 34 OT. And this one predates 2004, and it is stamped, if you can see it there, USA 34 OT. And on this one, you're going to have the standard clip point knife, sheep's foot, and a spay. And this is one that I carried a long time before I got into the newer style lock blade knives, and this one rode in my pocket. And this was probably the second or third one I'd had. I remember one of these I had, I was doing some welding and was chipping off some slag and had the knife down there kind of holding a point and weren't a tip that way. I've broken them, prying things, and this is the latest one I had picked up, and I've had this one for a long time. I don't remember exactly when I got it. This one is the 72 OT. It's the little dogleg jackknife, and this one we can date. It's got the 2015 limited edition stamped on it, and it's got the clip point and a little pin blade. It's a good size. It's a little smaller than I typically will carry, but it's a nice little, if you're dressed up and just need a little knife to pick a splinter or cut a string or something like that, it's perfect for that. And now comparing the quality with the Chinese and the US made, it's hard to tell a difference. I don't know, just the eye test and the feel test. I mean, this one's still original factory sharp, and the blade to me feels a little lighter, a little it's got a little more delicate feel to it, and that could be just the size, and it's a lighter knife all around, but as far as the way they feel and work, they both feel and the work the same, and the fit and finish seems to be just about the same on either one. They both have a synthetic handle material called Delin, I think they call it, and hard to really tell the difference. Maybe the US made one just seems a little more finely refined as far as just the handle and the feel of it, but not a huge difference. Then we got here Uncle Henry knife, named for the one-time president of Schrade. And this one is a senior rancher, and it's got a clip point, and this is a commemorative or a special etched edition. It says Cowboy Up, and you got the clip, then you got a sheep's foot, and then you got the spay that's serrated on this one. And this knife I have not used much. Actually have never carried it or used it for anything. And it's got a serrated blade on it, which could be pretty handy. I mean, that'd be handy for cutting some rope or something like that, pretty much. It feels like a really good quality knife, and this is also Chinese made. There's the China and model number, and but it's got a nice fit and finish to it, and nice action, good firm springs. You don't feel like it's going to close up on you when you're using it. This one would be one I probably received as a gift, and because in our family, the guys give each other knives every year for Christmas, and we always have fun with that. It's one, it's fun to buy knives, and two, it's fun to receive knives. That's a really handsome knife. As I said, I've never carried or used this one, but enjoy having that in my collection. Love the Oldtimers and any of the old Schrade knives. They just that classic. I mean, that's the classic look that you've seen come out of many man's pockets, and I hope to see that for many years to come. Even though I will carry this sometimes. This one here, sometimes just because I like having it in my pocket, even if it's not the one that you know, is I'm grabbing to cut things. It's it's just when you empty your pockets, you just like having that coming out of there every morning. All right, now next up we got some case knives, and just a little background. Case is W.R. Case and Sons, founded in 1889. One of the hallmarks on Case is you'll see these X's on there, and that is an indicator that this has been tempered. It's tempered steel and tested not once but twice. For their Case is known for quality control and just good quality durable knives. This one is just a good old-fashioned trapper. I've had it so long that couldn't even give you exactly what model number it is. Now they still make a knife like this. They make it in different variations of handles and materials. All these Case knives are USA made, and you can see this one's been around a while. That blade is worn down quite a bit from all the sharpening. I've had that a long time. It's been used a lot, and as you can see, it's pretty dirty. I've used it when working on cars, scraped a lot of gaskets with it, whittled some wood, cut notches in boards, whatever knife work that was ever needed. This knife has done it, and it still works well. Just needs a good cleaning and some oil, and it would be as smooth as butter or silk or whatever indicates extreme smoothness. Don't really know how old that knife is. Can't even remember when I got it or where I got it or how I got it, but that one's been one. Another one, it's like the Oldtimer, just feels good having it in your pocket. Good knife for anything you need. It's got a clip point, and then it's got big spay, and good for any chore you can think of needing a knife for. All right, then I've got some newer ones here. I've accumulated now. This one is going to be just a medium Stockman with a nice clip point, and then it's got a sheep's foot here. I like on knives. I love the sheep's foot. I tend to use those a lot because I'm saving my main blade for I don't know, more important things or something like that. But I'll tend to use the sheep's foot for a lot of the rough utility type work. And this one also has this little spay in here too. Forget about that little fella. I don't hardly ever use the spay blade that much. On any of the knives that have that. But very handsome knife, and like all Case, it's very well made. This one's got all that sheen and luster from a new knife. I've owned this one several years, but probably not one I don't recall ever carrying it. You know, when I go to put one of these in my pocket or run in there and grab one to use for a chore around the house, I'll typically grab the old one and just kind of use this one as a pretty to look at. And then last but not least is Sodbuster. Love this knife. Not one that I use much, or I can't say that I really ever have used it other than maybe grabbing it, just opening a box or something, just because I wanted to use it, give it some use. This has a polymer handle that has just such a smooth, luxurious feel to it that it's a knife I just like to fiddle with. You know, it's a good fidget knife, and it's got a good firm lock up on it, and it just that you can sit there and just kind of rub your fingers on it. It's kind of like a worry stone. It's just got that smooth, silky feel to it. Now I can imagine back in the old days, this would have been probably a go-to knife, you know, for your, you know, it's big enough for cowboy tactical, you know, back in the days when you might need a knife for some self-defense or a little offense, or need to cut anything. This would have been a good knife for that. In these days, it's a little big to be carrying in your pants pocket. It gets takes up a lot of room, gets a little crowded with everything else that tend to go into pockets these days, but just a knife I love having. And out of all these, it's probably the least expensive. These are about picked up. You can pick these up for about $30. The Trapper and the Stockman you can get for probably around $45-50. I'm sure I didn't pay nowhere near that for this one because I've had it so long. But this one is fairly new, but you can pick up these for about $45-50. And these Oldtimers, you're looking at probably you can pick these up for $20 to $25 generally. You'll have some of these special editions that might run you a little more, but especially since they started making them in China, they've been able to keep the cost down, but without a noticeable drop in quality. So I still like the Oldtimers, and we'll still pick them up if I find one and I'm in the mood and get the right deal on it. And case knives, you know, I'll always pick up a case knife if I find one around. But there you have it, a couple of vintage brands and just good traditional styles and types of knives. Hope you guys enjoyed that, and if you did, please like and subscribe. Many more knife reviews to come, and continuing. And I love knives, and I'm always going to be picking up knives, so I'm always going to have something new to put out there. When I get them, I'll share them with you guys. Also, don't forget that once I reach 100 subscribers, when you guys will become the proud owner of this little Leatherman Micro multi-tool. So share the channel with your friends, get them to subscribe, get that subscriber count up, and get us up to 100, and somebody will get that Leatherman. All right, that's all I have today. We'll see you next time.